Wait, how many feet does he have? 4 or 6? How is he flying? This is an interesting dream. What? How big is Momo? What the fuck? This is one hell of a dream.
I need you too.
No, you don't. Oh,
Careful, guys!
it's the Thunder Avatar.
Gyatso?
Why did you disappear?
I didn't mean to.
We need you, Aang.
We need you, Aang. We need you. We need you, Aang. We need you.
What's going on? Did we get captured again?
It's nothing. I just had a bad dream. Go back to sleep.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Whose teeth are on your blade?
Are you all right, Aang?
I'm okay.
You seem to be having a lot of nightmares lately. You want to tell me about it?
I think I just need some rest.
You guys want to hear about my dream? That's okay. I didn't want to talk about it anyway.
Good old survivor's remorse and trauma dreams. Yup.
Look at those clear skies, buddy. Should be some smooth flying.
Well, we better smoothly fly ourselves to a market, because we're out of food.
Guys, wait. This was in my dream. We shouldn't go to the market.
Because we don't have money and Katara's gonna steal food?
What happened in your dream?
Food eats people. Also, Momo could talk. You said some very unkind things.
Clearly, Momo can understand him.
There is a storm coming.
You know what? The Fire Nation is an asshole. Look at all the pollution that they're creating.
A big one.
You're out of your mind, Uncle. The weather's perfect. There's not a cloud in sight.
A storm is approaching from the north.
Holy shit, it's Virgil.
I suggest we alter our course and head southwest.
We know the Avatar's traveling northward, so we will do the same.
What about the birds that were flying in the opposite direction outside of the season?
Prince Zuko, consider the safety of the crew.
The safety of the crew doesn't matter.
That's how you get a mutiny.
Finding the Avatar is far more important than any individual's safety.
What about the captains? Oh yeah, that's how you get a mutiny.
He doesn't mean that. He's just all worked up.
It's good. It's perfect. I'm telling you.
Wait, so if Zuko's the captain, does that make the uncle the first mate? Or is he just an advisor to the captain and that guy with the grey hair was the first mate?
I don't know if I like the sound of that swishing.
Swishing means it's ripe. It's the ripe juices swishing around, huh?
I think it's true, Katara. Swishing means it's ripe.
No! No, it doesn't!
I just realized we're out of money anyway.
Oh yeah, she was planning on stealing it.
Ah!
Out of food and out of money. Now what are we supposed to do?
You
At least there's a little bit of consistency in regards to their financial situation.
could get a job, smart guy.
And you could work in a brothel.
We shouldn't go out there. Please, the fish can wait. There's going to be a terrible storm.
Ah, you're crazy. It's a nice day. No clouds, no wind, no nothing. So quit your nagging, woman.
Maybe we should find some shelter?
Are you kidding? Shelter from what?
My joints say there's going to be a storm. A bad one.
Well, it's your joints against my brain.
Then I hope your brain can find someone else to haul that fish, 'cause I ain't coming.
Then I'll find a new fish hauler and pay him double what you get. How you like that?
I'll go.
You're hired.
What? You said get a job. And he's paying double.
Double? Who told you that nonsense?
These fucking thumbnails, they just make themselves at this point. This is just beautiful. Oh my god. This is good. The storm. And then I just gotta edit out Virgil in the thumbnail. Just put him in the corner of it. I'm having too much fun. I'm having way too much fun.
Looks like your uncle was right about the storm after all.
Lucky guess.
Lieutenant, you'd better learn some respect, or I will teach it to you.
What do you know about respect? The way you talk to everyone around here, from your hardworking crew to your esteemed uncle, shows you know nothing about respect.
See, he makes a valid point.
You don't care about anyone but yourself. Then again, what should I expect from a spoiled prince?
Easy now. Enough! We're all a bit tired from being at sea so long. I'm sure after a bowl of noodles, everyone will feel much better.
I am pretty sure that the crew doesn't get noodles on a regular basis. And that is a bribe.
I don't need your help keeping order on my ship.
Okay, my friend Zuko, you need to learn the art of Sun Tzu. You can't instill discipline through punishment unless your men adore you first, lest they be useless. So you're kind of committing a cardinal sin here. Listen to your uncle. You know, he might know a thing or two about commanding a few men here or there. I mean, he might, you know, from his time, you know, leading the entire military of the Fire Nation. But anyway. Now, I get you got a little bit emotional about being called a spoiled prince, but I mean, if you want to be a leader, you need to learn to harden the fuck up. And also not get emotional.
Sokka, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Look at the sky.
I said I was gonna do this job. I can't back out just because of some bad weather.
The boy with the tattoos has some sense. You should listen to him.
Boy with tattoos? Airbender tattoos. Well, I'll be a hog monkey's uncle. You're the Avatar, ain't you?
Hog monkey's uncle? I've heard that before.
That's right.
Well, don't be so smiley about it. The Avatar disappeared for 100 years. You turned your back on the world.
Don't yell at him. Aang would never turn his back on anyone.
Oh, he wouldn't, huh? Then I guess I must have imagined the last 100 years of war and suffering.
Aang is the bravest person I know.
And how many people do you know, Katara?
He has done nothing but help people and save lives since I met him. It's not his fault he disappeared, right, Aang? Aang, what's wrong?
That's right. Keep flying.
You're a horrible old man.
Eh.
Appa, yip yip.
Hey! They left without saying goodbye.
Your friends ain't too polite, are they?
I know! This one time, I was...
Yeah. Get below deck.
I love how there's a storm yet they're going out to sea. What? There's just a cave chilling in the mountains. Is this Dr. Giro's lab?
I'm sorry for running away.
Probably.
It's okay. That fisherman was way out of line.
Actually, he wasn't.
What do you mean?
I don't want to talk about it.
It has to do with your dream, doesn't it? Talk to me.
Well, it's kind of a long story.
Do we maybe want to do something about the guy that's at sea during a storm that can die?
I'm gonna try to get a little fire going.
Quick question. How the f did Appa fit in the entrance of this cave? I mean, a few moments ago, it's like this big, right? Like maybe double the height of Katara. And maybe, I don't know, if she was to lie down sideways, 2 Kataras, right? And then like a few seconds later, fucking Appa, Okay, if she stands up, she's like, here, one Katara. Okay, he could fit. And you know, okay, he's a little wider than Katara, but like, why? Good luck. I mean, Appa is clearly a boy. He seems to be able to get into very tight holes.
Try to get a little fire going.
Oh yeah, because the fucking cave in the middle of the mountains just so happens to have kindling around.
I'll never forget the day the monks told me I was the Avatar.
So, about your brother?
I was playing with some other kids just outside the south wall. I was trying to teach them how to do the air scooter. First, you form the ball. Then you gotta get on quick.
Ah, there's the air ball from the opening.
Oh, yeah! Okay, here goes.
Quick, get on! You kinda have to balance on it like it's a top.
Man, that's hard.
Where'd you learn that trick, Aang? I made it up. Wow!
Aang, come with us. We need to speak with you.
Yes, all the other boys can't even sit on the ball, yet you're demonstrating high levels of mastery with airbending. You seem unusually gifted for a gifted child. So are these guys like the Jedis, where they kidnapped gifted children from across the villages and turned them into airbenders? So Aang is basically the chosen one. You know, like Anakin Skywalker. Minus the crush on an older girl. I mean, what were they thinking putting him to look after whatever her name was? Hello, I'm a teenage boy going through puberty. Let's put me together with a girl that I developed a crush on in later years. That's going to turn out well for everybody. Oh look, she's pregnant. Who would have thought?
How do you know it's me?
We have known you were the Avatar for some time.
Lies!
Do you remember these?
Midichlorians?
Those were some of my favorite toys when I was little.
You chose them from among thousands of toys, Aang. The toys you picked were the 4 Avatar relics.
Oh!
These items belong to Avatar's past. Your own past lives.
Oh, I see.
I just chose them because they seemed fun.
You chose them because they were familiar.
Normally, we would have told you of your identity when you turned 16. But there are troubling signs. Storm clouds are gathering.
I fear that war may be upon us, young Avatar.
We need you, Aang.
And so he ran away to escape the responsibility.
I'm sick of taking his orders, and I'm tired of chasing his avatar. I mean, who does Zuko think he is?
Do you really want to know?
General Iroh. We were just...
It's okay. May I join you?
Of course, sir.
I'm sorry, but this old man knows a thing or two about morale.
Try to understand. My nephew is a complicated young man.
Going through puberty with daddy issues, surrounded on a ship with nothing but men. Think about it.
He has been through much.
Let me in!
Prince Zuko, what's wrong?
I want to go into the war chamber, but the guard won't let me pass.
You're not missing anything, trust me. These meetings are dreadfully boring.
If I'm going to rule this nation one day, don't you think I need to start learning as much as I can?
See, that is not exactly a bad attitude to have.
Very well. But you must promise not to speak. These old folks are a bit sensitive, you know.
Thank you, Uncle.
Okay, so the uncle vouches for the young kid, but gives him a direction. Let me guess, he didn't follow it.
The Earth Kingdom defenses are concentrated here. A dangerous battalion of their strongest earthbenders and fiercest warriors. So I am recommending the 41st Division.
But the 41st is entirely new recruits. How do you expect them to defeat a powerful Earth Kingdom battalion?
He doesn't. He expects them to believe that that battalion is the main force. They declare victory, get drunk celebrating their defeat of the Fire Nation, and then you surround them.
I don't. They'll be used as a distraction while we mount an attack from the rear.
Okay, you're flanking them in the middle of the attack. But why would they leave their rear open? You're supposed to always fight with your rear secured.
What better to use as bait than fresh meat?
Ah, you're drawing them out as an easy... Okay.
You can't sacrifice an entire division like that. Those soldiers love and defend our nation. How can you betray them?
And youth.
Zuko was right, you see. But it was not his place to speak out. And there were dire consequences.
Okay, but to be fair, if the Emperor actually wanted to teach him about ruling and war, he could have used this question as an example as to why it needs to be done, rather than just, I don't know, spanking him.
You were upset that you were the Avatar? Why wouldn't you be excited about it?
Well, I didn't know how to feel about it. All I knew was that after I found out, everything began changing.
Fire Lord, Dictator, Ruler, President, Mein Führer, same thing. In other words, instincts and familiarity. They are born here, or parents that have an airbender usually go to the air temple. Fair enough.
Hey, not bad. You guys have been practicing. Not only that, we made up a game you can play with the air scooters. Great! What's going on?
Now that you're the Avatar, it's kind of an unfair advantage for whichever team you're on.
Oof!
But I'm still the same. Nothing's changed. So what? I can't play?
That's the only fair way.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Aang.
Bruh!
Okay, now who wants to have Jinju on their team?
Very interesting move, young one.
Isn't that the same strategy that Thingo's uncle uses?
What do you mean? Hey.
You're playing games with him? The Avatar should be training.
Aang has already trained enough for today.
Time is short. Come with me.
You do realize you also need to train your mind as much as your body, right?
I must test you on some high-level techniques.
No. As long as I am his guardian, I will decide when he trains. And when he gets his butt kicked at Pai Sho.
It's almost like none of these people know how to actually pass on knowledge and wisdom. It's not enough to just cram knowledge down people's throats. They have to understand when to apply it. What are these idiots even doing? They're both as bad as each other. Anyways, what do I know?
After Zuko's outburst in the meeting, the Fire Lord became very angry with him.
Well, he was more so disappointed.
He said that Prince Zuko's challenge of the general was an act of complete disrespect. And there was only one way to resolve this.
Agni Kai. A fire duel.
That's right.
Wait, so he didn't even outright challenge him, he was forced into it. Isn't that an outright violation of how duels work?
Zuko looked upon the old general he had insulted and declared that he was not afraid. But Zuko misunderstood. When he turned to face his opponent, he was surprised to see it was not the general. Zuko had spoken out against the general's plan, but by doing so in the Fire Lord's war room, it was the Fire Lord whom he had disrespected.
So the Fire Lord himself challenged his own son?
Zuko would have to do his own father.
Then, just when I was starting to feel better, something worse happened.
But is that not a lesson in itself? He needs to be able to hurt that which he cares about in order to assure victory. You must purge yourself of all weakness, lest you would lose. And I think that his father proved the point. Zuko was not afraid to fight a general whom he had no attachment to, but he couldn't fight his father because of his feelings. His feelings were clouding his judgment like they did in the war room. That in itself is a lesson. But what would I know about parenting? I'm just Slav.
To have freedom and fun. He needs to grow up as a normal boy.
You cannot keep protecting him from his destiny.
Gyatso, I know you mean well, but you are letting your affection for the boy cloud your judgment.
Oh, we seem to have a mirror here. You're also not a parent. Yeah, just wait till you meet Vlad. A powerful Sith he will become. He's gonna have a very interesting childhood. You get to pick. You can do kendo, you can do karate. You pick. Either way, you're gonna learn something important.
All I want is what is best for him.
But what we need is what's best for the world. You and Aang must be separated. The Avatar will be sent away to the Eastern Air Temple to complete his training.
Oh yeah, let's just completely isolate a child from anyone that has emotional attachment to him. That's not at all going to cause deep psychological problems mid-long term. Where's my food? It arrives in 13 to 19 minutes. This is acceptable. You're going to name your future son Vlad? Okay. Well, technically Vladimir. Well, Vladimir. But anyway.
That's awful, Aang. I don't know what to say.
How could they do that to me? They wanted to take away everything I knew and everyone I loved!
Hey, the Americans did that to me. You don't see me bitching about it.
Whoa! Hot cinders!
Kuma, can you recommend any books about Vlad? I can't say I've read many books, but I've seen many documentaries. I mean, you can scour YouTube, watch a half dozen, and you'll get a good idea of what he was up to. Then read Wikipedia, and then from there you could just start digging deeper and deeper. You'll find a lot. And also, I highly recommend speaking to native Romanian people.
I'm sorry I got so mad.
Particularly the older ones. You know, from Romania.
You have a right to be angry after the monks sent you away like that.
Well, that's not exactly what happened.
You'll be quite interested to see how Romanian people view him.
I was afraid and confused. I didn't know what to do.
And he ran away.
I'm not going to let them take you away from me. Aang?
I never saw Gyatso again. Next thing I knew, I was waking up in your arms after you found me in the iceberg.
You ran away.
And then the Fire Nation attacked our temple. My people needed me and I wasn't there to help.
You don't know what would have...
The world needed me and I wasn't there to help.
Aang.
The fisherman was right. I did turn my back on the world.
You're being too hard on yourself.
Sorry to say it, but no matter how much potential he would have had in his abilities, without the willingness to fight, he wouldn't be effective. Sorry to say it, but war is hell for a reason.
Even if you did run away, I think it was meant to be. If you had stayed, you would have been killed along with all the other airbenders.
You don't know that.
I know it's meant to be this way. The world needs you now. You give people hope.
So, about the
When
guy in the...
Prince Zuko saw that it was his father who had come to duel him, he begged for mercy.
Oof!
Please, Father. I only had the Fire Nation's best interest at heart. I'm sorry I spoke out of turn.
You will fight for your honor.
I meant you no disrespect. I am your loyal son.
Rise and fight, Prince Zuko.
I won't fight you.
You will learn respect, and suffering will be your teacher. I looked away.
Yeah, that's what happens. To be fair, I kind of understand the point of view of the father at this point. He challenged him to teach him something, and then he begged for mercy. He even told him to get up and fight. Everyone is watching. By being a prince, you're representing him by default, and if you show weakness, there's going to be a mutiny as soon as you inherit the kingdom. Instead, he decides to get on his knees and start begging. Sorry, but his dad actually had a good idea of kicking him out and forcing him to earn his place. I mean, what the fuck was he supposed to do? I mean, just look at what he says.
When Prince Zuko saw that it was his father who had come to duel him, he begged for mercy.
Please, Father. I only had the Fire Nation's best interest at heart.
Imagine fucking showing weakness in front of, I would only assume, people here being high-level ranked. Forcing him to earn his place by sending him on an impossible errand? Look up what they did in ancient Sparta.
I'm sorry I spoke out of turn.
You will fight for your honor.
I meant you no disrespect. I am your loyal son.
Rise and fight, Prince Zuko.
Look at the oxymoron of that. I am your loyal son. He is telling you to fight. He's telling you to rise, and you are refusing to do so.
I won't fight you.
Okay, I am loyal, but I'm not going to do what you're telling me to do.
You will learn respect, and suffering will be your teacher.
Okay, I don't know who this is, but she's having a good time. And so is he. I mean, these guys are pretty upset because their power was usurped by a little kid, but this guy and her are actually enjoying it.
I looked away.
How much you want to bet they're going to try to usurp the throne as soon as the Emperor dies? Fire Lord, whatever. They're going to try to usurp the throne as soon as the Fire Lord dies. Watch. Watch.
I thought that Prince Zuko was in a training accident.
It was no accident. After the duel, the Fire Lord said that by refusing to fight, Zuko had shown shameful weakness. As punishment, he was banished and sent to capture the Avatar. Only then could he return with his honor.
So that's why he's so obsessed. Capturing the Avatar is the only chance he has of things returning to normal.
Things will never return to normal. But the important thing is, the Avatar gives Zuko hope.
You see, that's the thing. There can be no suffering without hope. Zuko's still young. No excuse to burn him. He's a prince of an empire. He doesn't get... Okay, so here's the thing, though. I understand where you're coming from. But he's the prince. And he wanted to be in the war room to learn. Fair enough. He put himself in that position. Okay. He got into the war room. Okay. He spoke out of turn. Okay. You're going to get a harsh lesson. He refused. There's repercussions for that. You can't play future ruler and then act like a child as soon as your daddy gets upset with you. You either are or you're not. You can't pretend. It's not a childish game. Because if you show weakness, the first thing you're going to get is a dagger in your back. Sorry to say it, but military people, particularly in a society like this, are socio and psychopathic. You show a moment of weakness, they will eat you alive. You can't rule with love, you rule with fear. You need your men's love and admiration, but your captains need to fear you. Otherwise, they'll just rebel. There'll be mutinies. You literally need to rule. You need an iron will. He does not have that. And the Fire Lord proved that point. Because at his core, he's just a child. He says all these things, but he's still a kid. So, you can't entirely put the blame on the Fire Lord. Because if the Fire Lord allowed this to happen, he allowed his son to be a disrespectful little shit in the war chamber without repercussion, what do you think would happen from the generals? They'd lose respect for the Fire Lord. And that is a dangerous position to be in. Because the men listen to their general, not to their king. The men are loyal to the general. Just look at what happened back in the day with the legions in Rome. A general could literally surround the capital with his legion. Fucking surround the capital and then just waltz in through the front door and being like, I could burn this place to the ground if I want to. I'm in charge now. Look at me. I's the boss. How do you think Caesar became Caesar? The legion, the general with the most power and the legions could just crown himself. How do you think kings became kings? How do you think Japan was unified? How do you think China was unified? How do you think the whole of fucking Europe was unified? How do you think kings became kings? That's my question for you. Go study history. Pick a country. Any country. Pick an empire. Pick Rome. Pick Japan. Pick China. Pick Korea. Pick Russia. That's a fun one. Pick Germania. Britannia. Whatever you want. And tell me, how did one person become king or ruler or dictator or Führer or whatever you want to call them? Just look into it and just tell me what they did. And I guarantee it, they weren't the friendliest guy in the room. I'm telling you that now. And if you think that's sexist, look up, what's the name? What's that queen from Catherine the Great from Russia? Look her up. Look up fucking Queen Elizabeth from Britain. Look up, come on, give me another female. Look at the female Khan in Mongolia that took over by eliminating a bunch of people. Look up Cleopatra. You want some female examples? Go for it. Go for it. And I'll tell you what they all have in common. Laws of power. Read it. Read up the laws of power. Read it up. And then when you're done with that, read up Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince. And then when you're done with that, go to the fucking Art of War. And then you're fucking good. And then you'll start seeing things the way I see them. Say what you will. There is no room for weakness in an empire like this. None. Because you know what happens to weakness? It gets purged. It gets burnt alive to a crisp. It gets eaten. It gets strung up on a street lamp. That's what happens. Sorry to say it, harsh reality. You don't like it, don't play the Game of Thrones. You either win or you die. You think that's not true? Take a look at what happened to every family when they lost the war. The ruler would get killed. The wives would get made concubines or slaves. The sons would get killed. Why? You kill the whole family tree. There's no one to oppose you. The people have no one to rally behind. You don't believe me? Just look up what the sultans did back in the day. They would kill their own brothers. When the Sultan would die and the eldest son would inherit the kingdom, the first thing he had to do was kill all of his brothers. Every single last one. And you might think, oh, he didn't like him. No, there is actually one sultan that when he had to kill his brother, he was pulling his beard out of pain. His brother was on his knees begging him to spare him. I would never turn against you. I would never do it. You know what he did? Killed him anyway. Zuko got a fucking easy. Personally, if I was fucking Fire Lord, if I was fucking emperor of a kingdom like that, that's waging war against the planets, I'd have a fucking dozen kids. And then I'd put them in military units, send them on campaigns. The best one can inherit the kingdom. I don't give a fuck how you do it. I'm sending you to different continents to conquer different villages, different kingdoms. I want you all to fight. And the ones that die, you've purged the weak. The strongest of you can inherit the kingdom. That's how it works. You want a dynasty to last generations and thousands of years? I'm sorry, but it's not going to get there through love. It's going to get there through sociopathic, psychopathic little shits that would kill for it. Because that's who stays emperor. Sorry to say it. The little shit that's twisted usually stays emperor. Because he claws his way to it. He's willing to crawl through broken glass to get there. That's who you need. You can't have some soft-handed little prince that speaks out and then can't fight daddy. I'm sorry, but you need the little shit that's willing to murder daddy. Burning his face isn't going to help, though. It's a mark. It's a mark. Because every time he looks at a mirror, he's going to remember the painful lesson. It's like any scar. You never forget it. It's a constant reminder of the shame. And everyone knows it. Everyone can see it. You can't just cover it up with a little bit of armor and an eye patch. It's a symbol. And it's there to make you feel shame, pain, but also create anger. And only if you know how to channel that anger can you overcome the shame. That's the lesson. Are you strong enough to come back? Or are you just going to flop over like a little boy, in which case you were useless to begin with? So there's more to it than a simple, I'm going to give you a black eye, little boy. Bam. It's sort of like, I'm going to give you the mark of a loser. I mean, they even said about it early on when he challenged the other guy. The loser gets the mark. It's to show that you've lost in a duel. At least, like, okay, you guys are all saying that he's a bad father because he did it to him. How about this? He challenges a general, and the general gives it to him. What's worse? Receiving it from the emperor or receiving it from a general? Because I'm telling you, the general would be worse. The general would, I don't know, make it 10 times worse. And this guy that's supposed to be delivering my food went on a detour with my food. I'm watching him on GPS go on a freaking detour. I'm going to file a complaint. Not saying that the Fire Lord is wrong, but I am saying it was his fault. He didn't teach his son right. The son wasn't taught to listen. He was probably starved of fatherly attention until that point. Just my point of view. I mean, Zuko showed compassion for the soldiers, which they viewed as disrespect because he wasn't agreeing with the general's plan. From their point of view, I'm sure what the Fire Lord did makes sense, but I don't think caring for his people is a bad thing. All right, I'm going to give you a real-life example. Where do you think the word infantry comes from? Rome. Infants were put on the front line. That's why it's called infantry. On top of that, the inexperienced boys that are set in like cattle to die, Who's someone that's using that tactic right now? Putin. All those kids in Ukraine are taken from the countryside. Why? What do you think would happen if the kids and the conscripts of city people were put on the front lines and sent to die? You would have riots. What do you think happens if peasants' kids are sent to die? Nothing. Because they don't have the resources, the manpower, or the connections to riot. And by killing off the kids from the countryside, you stop insurrection. There are fewer people to oppose you. Step by step play what Stalin did back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Stalin actually started famines to kill off his own people so he could stranglehold the entirety of Russia, which he borrowed from other rulers earlier on. It's a tactic that's been used time and time again. And on top of that, sending an irresistible bait to your enemy is a play-on-play strategy from Sun Tzu. The thing that most people need to unfortunately understand about the generals is they don't give a flying fuck about how many soldiers die. They only care about how they can most efficiently and effectively conquer the enemy. And if they have to sacrifice a few kids to do it, they would gladly do so rather than lose trained soldiers. Because it's more difficult to replace a seasoned, trained warrior than it is to replace a conscript that you just got from some countryside. It's easy to replace a conscript. You just grab another village full of kids. And the ones that survive the battle, well, they're fucking battle-hardened now, aren't they? They've survived their baptism on fire with absolutely no training, poor weapons, and they survived. Those are the kids you want. Sorry to say it, but the generals kind of made the right choice from a war point of view. A civilian point of view, well, I'm sorry to say it, but the Fire Lord doesn't strike me as a democratically elected ruler. And the only reason he is starting war with the other kingdoms, in my point of view, is to unify the nation under an external threat. Otherwise, the nation would view him as the biggest threat and riot against him, which is a play-on-play tactic that any dictator uses. Look at any dictator at any point in history. They always start shit with someone else. Otherwise, they get conquered by their own people. It's the most basic of motivations and tactics that's been used time and time and time and time again. And that is currently being used all around the world. I'm sorry, but history is repeating itself every few years because the only people that seem to learn from it are dictators. Because they seem to be the only ones that are well educated. I'm sorry to say it, but most dictators in the third world are actually very smart people. They are horrible, they are bloodthirsty, they're psychopathic, but they're not stupid. That's the one thing they're not. They're actually pretty smart. Which is probably why they've taken over everything. Sorry to say it. And the food's almost here. Hi, John, the food's almost here. All right, let's get back to this while I'm munching on food. War makes me hungry.
But the important thing is, the Avatar gives Zuko hope.
So let me get this straight. You are in the middle of an ocean in a giant metal thing. And who the fuck is this woman and how on earth did she climb a mountain?
It's okay, you're safe.
But my husband isn't.
What do you mean? Where's Sokka?
They haven't returned. They should have been back by now. And this storm is becoming a typhoon. They're caught out at sea.
I'm going to find them.
I'm going with you.
I'm staying here.
How did this old woman climb this fucking mountain? Fuck it at this point.
We'll be back soon. I promise.
I don't know. Look!
The helmsman!
Did he just redirect lightning? Sorry, give me a sec. What the f?
Where were we hit?
I don't know. Look!
The helmsman!
The Avatar? This guy's the real OG!
Where are they? Come on, Appa!
The Avatar!
What do you want to do, sir?
Let him go.
I ate less than half, so you have to return and give me a quarter.
I didn't eat half either.
Yes, you did. This is half. Look at that.
Excuse me, that's not half.
Okay, let us compare this. This is what Hachan is giving me, and this is what I'm giving Hachan.
Yeah, but you ate like 1 bite, and I ate like 3 bites.
Okay, but you gotta return a little bit of pasta.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm full.
No, you eat. You eat now. You're too skinny. You eat.
We need to get this
No. You eat. You eat half.
ship to safety.
No, you eat. I can't eat both. I'll get fat. Then put the lid. Then put the lid and eat it later.
Then we must head directly into the eye of the storm.
Sorry, what was the old wise man of the east saying? I gotta go back.
The Avatar!
What do you want to do, sir?
Let him go. We need to get this ship to safety.
Then we must head directly into the eye of the storm.
I'm too young to die.
I'm not, but I still don't wanna.
I'm sorry, but that was witty as fuck.
Hang on to the rope!
And before you guys get mad at me about the pasta, Hutchin ordered the tomato pasta, but I knew this is secretly her favorite, so I ordered this one as my pasta. Which is why she picked it up instinctively when it came. Wait, so he did that the first time, but it froze because it was in cold water, right?
Uncle, I'm sorry.
Your apology is accepted.
Holy f***, he learned humility. And he also earned the respect of his men. And he found the fucking Avatar.
alive! You owe this boy an apology.
He doesn't have to apologize.
Oh, what if instead of an apology, I give him a free fish and we call it even?
Actually, I don't eat meat.
Fish ain't meat.
Seriously? You're still gonna pay me, right?
Fish ain't meat. I fucking love this vegetarian joke. It's like, I'm a vegetarian. Oh, okay. Let's go eat to a seafood restaurant. It's like, wait, but isn't a fish alive? It's like, yeah, but it's okay. I'm like, what?
Katara, I think you were right before. I'm done dwelling on the past.
Really?
I can't make guesses about how things would have turned out if I hadn't run away. I'm here now and I'm going to make the most of it.
I don't think you're gonna have those nightmares anymore.
If you weren't here now, well, I guess I wouldn't be either. Thank you for saving my life, Avatar.
Do you hear that? It stopped raining.
I fucking love Appa. He waited till the end of the rain to do that. Ah, that was good. Kuma, the new AI is here and you're not playing it. You were playing it tomorrow. It will be on YouTube. I spent the weekend with Hachan for her birthday. I had no choice, guys. Come on, it was her birthday. Needed to take her out for a road trip. She's been stuck at home for like ever because of COVID. And so I got to take her out somewhere for her birthday because she was stuck at home for 2 years because of COVID. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. One weekend. Come on, guys. It's not my fault they chose to release a new game on that goddamn weekend. What the hell is this? Paused. What's paused? Is my recording paused? Alright, let's get back to... We're taking a break before I get a flamethrower and kill OBS. How do you pause the recording? It was recording, but you pause the recording. How do you pause halfway through recording while it's recording? What the fuck? Anyway, quick little break and we're gonna watch Dragon Ball Super.
Hey, did I hand you a shrinking potion by accident? I could have sworn that was the gender swapping one.
Don't be hating. She's fun size, that's all. She doesn't even have to get on her knees to blow.
You want to add anything to that conversation?
Nope, I'm good. In fact, I think your new size makes you an even more formidable and stealthy ninja.